How's it going, everybody? If you are a business owner, CFO, or somebody within a business that handles the commercial insurance program, then this video is for you. Today, I wanted to go over general liability insurance and discuss what exactly this policy covers, and then highlight some key areas that general liability insurance does not cover and are commonly excluded on these types of policies. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Brian. I'm an independent insurance agent based here in the state of Michigan, Metro Detroit specifically, and I work with businesses on their commercial insurance programs, as well as helping families and individuals with their personal insurance, their home, their auto insurance as well. My goal with this channel is to pass on a little bit of educational information to you so that you can make more informed decisions around your insurance, and then overall help answer any questions that you might have. So let's get into it, and before we get too far into the video, I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, and if you find this video helpful, useful, anything like that, please feel free to like, share, pass it along with anyone else as well. So at a high level, general liability insurance is designed to help protect your business if you get sued for potential third-party claims related to things like bodily injury, property damage, or certain personal and advertising injuries, such as things like libel or slander. Most commonly, you'll hear about general liability insurance covering things like slip and fall accidents, or maybe if somebody gets injured or their property gets damaged because of your business's operations. And this is where I will mention where most general liability insurance policies will also include coverage for products and completed operations coverage. And this helps protect your business if a product you sell or a job you've completed causes damage or injury after the job is done or the product has been sold. But it is important to note, depending on your industry and your operations of your business, this coverage can sometimes be excluded from general liability policies. So if your business is in contracting, manufacturing, or you just sell things in general, it is important to make sure that you do have this coverage on your policy, or at least you know it's excluded and you could potentially look for coverage elsewhere on a separate policy. Now, while general liability policies do clearly cover a lot of important risks for your business, just like with any other type of insurance policy, there are exclusions, and it is important to understand what this policy does not cover, because this is obviously where a lot of businesses can get caught off guard. So let's go over some of the common exclusions that are on most standard general liability policies. Cyber-related incidents. If your business does get hacked, data is stolen, there's a ransomware event, general liability insurance will not provide coverage to your business. This is where cyber insurance would come in, and you would either need a specific endorsement added onto your general liability policy if the insurance company offers it, or a specific standalone cyber liability policy, which is what we always recommend going with. Another common exclusion is going to be pollution or environmental liability. Things like spills, leaks, or contamination, whether these are sudden or gradual, are not covered on a general liability policy. For this, you would need a separate pollution or environmental policy. And then another one we get questions about is employee injuries. If an employee ever does get hurt on the job, this is where you would need workers' compensation insurance coverage. And here in Michigan, if you do have any employees, it is required by law that you have workers' compensation insurance. And then we have auto-related claims. If an accident happens with a vehicle related to your business, whether it's owned by the company, or maybe it's a rented vehicle or a personal vehicle being driven by an employee or yourself, this is where commercial auto insurance would come into play. Or you would need hired and non-owned auto insurance. And this typically is an endorsement that is available to be added on to most general liability policies. And this would cover your business for liability related to vehicles that your business rents or personal vehicles that are maybe used on an occasional basis for a work errand here or there. There are also exclusions for employment-related claims. So anything like harassment, discrimination, wrongful termination. This is where you would need employment practices liability coverage. And again, with this coverage, you can typically add it on as an endorsement onto your general liability policy or purchase a complete separate policy. And then I did mention property damage earlier, but general liability insurance does not provide coverage for property that your business owns. So if you do need to protect your own building, your own inventory, equipment, contents within the building, this is where a commercial property insurance policy would come into play. And it's also important to keep in mind that general liability insurance does not cover intentional acts. So if it is determined that damage or an injury was caused intentionally, general liability insurance will not provide coverage. And then last, I do want to mention that general liability insurance does not cover specialized risks like professional mistakes or giving the wrong advice. This falls outside of what general liability covers, and this is where you would need what is called professional liability or errors and omissions insurance. And this is obviously relevant for professional services like accounting, engineering, attorneys, architects, folks doing that type of work. Overall, general liability insurance is a great foundation for your business's commercial insurance program, but it is clearly not a catch-all. So it is important to make sure that you do get the other policies necessary for your business and its specific needs to really make sure that it is fully protected and that you can operate your business with confidence. So thank you for watching, and if you are looking for help with your general liability insurance or your commercial insurance program as a whole, I would love the opportunity to work with you and see if our team can help. There are a lot of ways to get a hold of me, and they should all be in the description below. Please feel free to text, call, email, fill out a contact form, whatever is easiest. And if you have any other questions about insurance, please feel free to either reach out directly or leave them in the comments below. I would love to help answer those as well. So thank you again.